you gotta be a pretty selfless person. I guess that's basically the point I'm trying to make
Yeah.
is like players. I mean, would you sit out a whole season not make money for a guy who probably won't get a new contract for another 4 years?
I mean, again, that's a tough question. I'm
It's tough.
obviously not
It's
in
tough,
their
right?
shoes.
Yeah,
I don't
right,
make that kind of money. But you know what?
right.
If it's a matter of if I'm sitting here looking at it, I would like to think I would. I would like to think I would sit here and go, you know what? And even for a little bit of a selfish reason, because I know I'm not going to get that third contract, which is kind of part of the problem. I mean, Frank Gore played until he was 40. This whole concept of guys stop playing at 27 at running back is fairly new. I mean, again,
Oh,
if
for
we're
sure.
talking about Jamal Charles, if we're talking about how old was Matt Forte, 33? I mean,
No.
guys, running backs used to play until their early 30s, mid 30s, whatever it was. They weren't as good. They obviously declined. I'm not saying you're saying that Jamal Charles was the same Jamal Charles as his prime as he was at the end, but it wasn't like Jamal Charles retired at 27 and was just done. I mean, it just
Yeah.
when
I
was
think
his?
I think Forte retired when he was like 32 ish.
So again, I mean, this whole concept. I mean, that's 5 years past 27.
Yeah.
That's a third contract, and
Yeah.
that these guys aren't getting. So I mean, it's a little bit of a selfish reason because they're so devalued. They're not even getting third contracts. Hell, they're talking about not even giving them second contracts. So I mean, like I said, we're getting to a point where it's not just like, oh, well, it doesn't make sense to do it. We're getting to a point where it's getting really disrespectful to
Yeah.
not do it.
Trust me, dude. I'm in the camp of pay them. Like every player should be paid what they're worth, especially the very good ones like a Barkley or
Yeah,
CMC or a Derrick Henry, whatever. I just don't see. I don't know. Like I just don't see someone sitting out a year. Like yeah, it could. Like let's say he sat out this season. I'm talking about Barkley and the
yeah,
Giants flopped, win 5 games. Like oh, Barkley was the reason why we went to playoffs and won a playoff game. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he's gonna get paid hella, right?
yeah.
But like, what if that doesn't happen? And now, worst case scenario, he sat out this year, and they're like, actually, we're not going to resign you at all because we still won 10 games, made the playoffs, whatever. Now he just lost a whole opportunity to get a second deal from the Giants. Now there might be a team to sign him, right?
Well,
Whatever,
again,
but
I
could be
kind of
less
think that
value.
further that would kind of I think solidify the point. I don't see that happening. I don't
Right,
honestly I don't see a world where the Giants win 10 games without Saquon Barkley. I don't see a reality where the Giants make the postseason last year without Saquon Barkley. I mean, that's the impact I believe Saquon has on that team. Here's an example. Christian McCaffrey, when he came to the 49ers, they were 3-4. In his first game, we got whopped by the Kansas City Chiefs. He had like 2 days to learn the playbook. After that, we didn't lose a game until the NFC Championship game
right,
because of Christian McCaffrey. Even at that, in the first half, he kept us in that game. It was 7-14 going into halftime, I believe, or right
right,
before halftime, because he put the team on his back and literally ran through the entire Eagles defense for a touchdown.
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like running backs aren't as easily replaceable as people like to think. You can't just draft a guy and
Well, the
throw
really
him.
good ones, they think. I mean,
Right.
obviously CMC, Barkley, Henry,
Jonathan Taylor. I mean, there's probably like
JT,
5 or 6 guys that I'm saying probably should be fighting for
paid
like a
pretty
top
pretty pretty
top
well, right?
contract kind of a
Yeah,
thing. And then there are other, again, like with quarterbacks and like with receivers,
there's
there's obviously,
tiers.
there's tiers to it. I'm not saying every cornerback back deserves 15, $16 million a year, but I think outside of like quarterback, I think running back of your non-lineman position can have the biggest effect on a team
Yeah,
because you can give them the ball 20, 30 times a game.
yeah,
You
for
can't
sure.
you can't throw a ball to Justin Jefferson 20, 30 times. He's not coming down with 20, 30 catches a game. The amount of impact he can have is limited to his small amount of touches and who's throwing him the ball.
Yeah, no, trust me. I'm totally on board with what you're saying. I'm
Yeah,
more or less trying to give the other side as like
I get
you.
it. I
I mean,
don't. I think we have one data point where it suggests that maybe running backs weren't as valued. And that's when Le'Veon Bell sat out and they had James Conner, who had a really good year, and then never had another good year again.
yeah, but they also
So
kind of derailed Bell's career at the same point though too. Like that, like
that's because he
move.
picked to go to the Jets with Adam Gase. Adam Gase derailed everyone's career. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm just saying there's risk. I know Barkley said like, yeah, if I don't get a new deal, I might think about sitting
yeah,
out. I just think there's good amount of risk with sitting out. Like
Oh, for
if
sure.
I was in the shoes, I would not sit out, honestly.
For sure. There's absolutely a risk. If they all sat out and all these teams still had these great rushing attacks and went on to be super successful, yeah, it looks bad on you. And it really at that point you've ended your value. I think that what I'm talking about, the strike would be the line in the sand. If they do that and teams go on and have a great year, you forever never have any debate about running backs. You've literally proven when we took the top 6 or 7 or 8 out of the game, teams still had great running attacks. So but if they don't, it is the ultimate debate point of look what happened when they weren't there.
Right.
So I mean, it kind of that would be like the head it draws to of like, we are going to physically show you, we are going to physically decide whether running backs are important. We're taking all the important ones out, all the elite ones out. If you guys can still run the ball at elite level, it just shows that it really doesn't matter. If you guys can't, shut the fuck up and pay us.
Yeah, facts.
So and again, me personally, I can't view a world where the Giants make the playoffs without Barkley.
Oh, me either. I mean, I kind of just brought that up for like the risk involved with it now, but like
if Jonathan Taylor gets hurt, if Jonathan Taylor for whatever reason cannot play this season, he sits out, he tears his ACL, whatever happens, you can easily see the Colts being the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Because you're running on a rookie running back or rookie quarterback that has to sit here and doesn't have a lot of experience and has to rely on that with not very many of the weapons to throw to.
Right.
Where are the Titans if Derrick Henry misses the season?
Oh, dude. Derrick Henry has been carrying the Titans since he joined the damn team.
Right. But he gets what's his contract? Is he 16 million or something like that?
Let me look it up.
He carries the team like a quarterback, but gets paid a third of the price, maybe, and zero of the recognition.
Hey, he's way more beneficial than Ryan Tannehill. I think Tannehill is getting paid like what?
He's 38, a cap hit of, oh my gosh, where'd he go? For this season, he's 38. It's his last year. That's why I couldn't find him on my 2024 and 2025 numbers.
Where is he at? Yeah, so it says here 2023, Derrick Henry's cap hit is 16 million.
In change. So what is that? Less than half of what Ryan Tannehill's is?
And we can all agree here, Ryan's going to be gone after this season. So
yeah, for sure, they are desperately trying to find a replacement. It's either going to be Will Levis or Malik Willis. So one of the guys that ends in Ivis is going to be the quarterback for this.
So to your point, they're paying a guy double the amount of money who will be gone by this point next year, right?
That has actively lost you games recently. Yeah.
Who does not contribute that much at all to actually winning ball games over a guy who's carried the franchise on his back for the last at least 4 seasons.
What about Carson Wentz? Would you rather have Derrick Henry at 16, Derrick Henry or Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz recently just getting 30 million. It was on his 4th team, is worth 1st-round picks. You're telling me Carson Wentz is worth more than Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor or Saquon Barkley? I mean, again, that's kind of my point about all of this is that, sure, are there other positions that have value? Absolutely. Quarterback is a very valuable, very important position. It's overvalued right now, but it's still a very valuable, important position. Receivers, sure, they can be game changers and really helpful and do a great job. They get what they deserve at the 25 to 30 million range. I just think it's a matter of like to sit here and look at running backs and say, no, that was gross. I apologize for that.
I didn't even see it, bro. You're
okay, good. To sit here and go, they are, you can replace it. Just draft 2 more in the next draft and you'll be okay. It's absolute crap. I mean, even Kyle Shanahan, people saying you look at him as the running back guru and look at these undrafted guys he finds. Still draft guys in the 3rd round that continually bust. Yeah. I mean, if it were so easy, why these 3rd round pick, Trey Sermons, the Tyrus Davis Price, why are these guys, Joe Williams, the 4th round pick for, Kyle Shanahan, why do these guys still bust? If it's just so easy, you just pick and grab a new one.
It's almost, to your point, it's almost random. Like it's just, you can't really predetermine what will help a player do well in the league. Like no matter where they're picked. I mean, we talked about that last week too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like even at that, like there are some signs that you can tell when a guy's going to be elite. Like there's running backs. Like there was one I watched a few years ago from Louisiana Lafayette that I thought was, I never got his information or his details. I just saw it at the gym. And I was just watching him. I'm like, that guy could play in the NFL. He would be one of those guys that's taken in the 7th round and all of a sudden explodes onto the seat, the team. because I feel like maybe the criteria of what we're looking at running back is really like devalued. I think nowadays they look for a lot of guys that are just fast rather than looking for guys that have the speed plus the vision plus the patience plus the contact balance. Like you need all of those things to be a great running back, not just hands and speed. That's a receiver. So
yeah.
but I think I don't know. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I wouldn't. If they announced in a couple weeks that's what's happening, I wouldn't be surprised because there really does need to be something to show these teams, hey guys, we are value. We do bring value to a team. We're not just kickers. We're not like guys that go out for one play a game and call it a day.
Yeah. Well, maybe the dude the Falcons just drafted, maybe he's a guy that kind of recreates that like Stark, CMC too, but those are 3-down backs.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we gotta get back to those days where we have a 3-down back who can do it all, and they kind of create more value that way. Because the more value you bring to the table, the more money you're gonna be paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even the argument of, oh well, what if he gets hurt? Okay, but look at the Vikings. What if Justin Jefferson gets hurt?
Yeah, any player.
Yeah, I mean, the same argument can always be made. Well, you gave Justin Jefferson a huge contract and he got hurt. Debo got a huge contract and he had, by his standards, his worst season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to sit here and just put that on the running backs like it can't happen any other position. It's just absolutely a ludicrous argument, and it's not a genuine, serious conversation to have.
Yeah.
So
agreed.